reading Wayne Dyer's book, I Can See Clearly Now, he talked a lot about trusting your inner guidance, following your own heart, doing it your way, and many, many other statements like that. I loved those. As I was reading them, I felt empowered and my heart soared. But inside, my inner child was doing something else. At times, it was trying to jump out of that little kid desk and go, yes! And other times, it was going, no, 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 that's not safe. Don't do that. Bad plan. The number of times throughout my last 5 decades that on my inside I knew that I should be doing something or doing something in a different way, it's mind-boggling how many times there were. Every once in a while I followed those, but most of the time I didn't. I squelched them, I kept them down for a whole variety of reasons. Sometimes I adopted the belief that what I thought was the right thing to do really wasn't, because surely everybody else knew. Or I was trying to fly under the radar, be a good girl, just go through the motions, fit in with everybody else. When you're trying to fit in, fly under the radar, and be a good girl, you're not necessarily, in fact, you're almost never following your own inner guidance. So as I read the pages of the book, it was a library book, so I couldn't use a highlighter. I grabbed some post-it notes, and on one of those post-it notes, what I wrote was, I don't really trust myself. I mean, what I meant by that was I don't really trust that I know what's right for me, or that my inner guidance is true or accurate or on the right path. So, I guess it's time to tap. Please remember to take responsibility for your own health and well-being, and that by tapping along with me, you're agreeing to the terms that can be found at www.drleannamanuel.com/disclaimer. I've not tapped on this, I don't know where it's going to go, but even just thinking about tapping on it, I get this kind of little queasiness in my gut. So that tells me that this might be one that's full of all kinds of surprises or things that could be overwhelming. So remember, if it gets overwhelming for you, be kind to yourself and stop. Write down any thoughts you have, and if you feel like it, you can go back and tap again later. If it still feels overwhelming, remember that sometimes we all need help to tap through things, and it's okay to ask for help from a professional. So, on your karate chop point, I don't really trust myself, but I want to. Even though I don't really trust myself, I'm open to making a change. Even though I haven't really trusted my own inner guidance for as long as I can remember, I'm okay. I can do something different. I choose to be open to clarity. I choose to get a little better at listening to that inner voice and trusting that she knows what she's doing. I don't really trust myself. 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 Somewhere along the way, I learned not to trust my inner voice. I learned to believe that everybody else knew what was right for me. And if what I thought was different, then I was wrong. I don't really trust myself. I don't trust that inner voice that tells me what's right for me and what might not be right for me. So sometimes, a lot of times, I've gone with the flow. It seems easier to trust everybody else instead of trusting me. I don't really trust myself. Most of the time, I don't even hear that inner voice anymore. She's learned to shut up. She doesn't speak. Because why bother? She knows I'm not going to listen anyway. I don't trust her. Which means I don't trust me. I'd like to do a better job listening to my inner voice. I'm not sure I remember how. And it seems pretty scary. Because what if I really am wrong? That could be embarrassing. I don't really trust myself. But I'd like to. I guess the first step is to learn to listen. And then decide. I can listen to whether my body's telling me yes, or whether my body's telling me no. It would be a leap of faith to even listen to that voice. I do believe that there is inner guidance, and I'm open to learning to trust it. I do believe that the heart knows the answers. And I'm open to learning to love that. Telling me to do it my own way, wow, that's pretty powerful and pretty scary. It feels like that could bring conflict. But I choose to acknowledge it could also bring peace. Peace of mind. Peace of body. Peace of spirit. To know that I'm walking my path, not someone else's. And to trust my ability to walk that path. I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself as much as I need to and want to. I'm open to baby steps. I'm open to being a work in progress. This is a skill just like any other. This is a habit just like any other. And it's going to take some practice. talking about me listening to me. Really, I don't use this word often, but it shouldn't be hard. There's a direct link. It's a language I understand. My inner self and my outer self, we've had the same experiences. We really have the same goals. Learning to trust me. Learning to trust in my own wisdom. Learning to trust my own judgments. Learning to trust my own intelligence. Trusting myself is loving myself. Honoring my inner voice is honoring me. Learning to trust myself. Learning to love myself. Learning to accept myself. Learning to be myself. Take a deep breath and let it out. Until next time, happy tapping.